I need some coffee. Hello and welcome to Will's Infinite Library. I'm Will, and this is my infinite library. Do you know what today is? Today is my Booktube anniversary. I don't know if it's today, actually. I'm recording this on October 6th, and the first video was from October 19th. So I don't know when you'll be watching this. Maybe it will be October 19th. Who knows? Well, you'll know because you'll be watching it and you'll know when you're watching it, but I won't know. Anyway, there have been a lot of ups and downs over the past year. I've been recording off and on, and that's because what I wanted this channel to be all along was a conversation. I wanted to come to you when I had things that I was excited about, books I enjoyed and wanted to share with you. I didn't want to make this feel like work or something like that. I wanted it to be fun. I wanted to enjoy making the videos, and I wanted you to enjoy watching them. And if you've enjoyed watching these videos over the past year, please feel free to like and subscribe to let me know that you want me to keep making videos. Otherwise, I will stop. No, I won't. Anyway, I wanted to thank you all for watching and joining me over the past year. It's been really fun making these videos, talking about books with you. I love reading your comments about books that you've enjoyed, books that you want to read, thoughts on genres and different things that I've been talking about, and things that you've been bringing to me and giving me ideas for new videos. And over the past years, kind of I think back on like where we've been. I've taken you through my infinite shelf. So here we have kind of miscellaneous nonfiction philosophy. I don't have many nonfiction books, so it's a hodgepodge. Then we have some love for adult beverages, some photo albums from a trip to Ireland that I took. I've added some video games to my shelves, some of my favorites. Here we have journals and diaries and notebooks that I've used over the years that look nice, not the ugly ones, but just the ones that look nice ended up here. And then we have a poem that my dad used to hang on his wall in olden times, and now I have on my bookshelf. Then we go down a level. We also have some more family stuff. We have some books from my grandfathers, both on both sides here and over here and over here. And then a picture from my grandmother of Trinity College in Dublin, some more Ireland love there, and then a carving from my great-grandfather. So there's a lot of family on these shelves. Oh, and also we have some classics here. These are mostly books that I read in school. And then we have our globe because the world is awesome. Then we have kind of like general fiction and literature. These are some books that I've enjoyed over the years. And then we have general fiction and literature continued, and these are some more of my favorite books. And we have our plant with a rainbow on it that my sister gave me. Here we have some shameless self-promotion. These are all books that I have stories in or edited. And then we have whatever this is. She's called Heather. Then we have our sci-fi section here. Some you might have seen in some other videos. Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, Rabbits, some recent pickups. Here we have the fantasy section, which is growing a lot recently. Over the past year, it has grown a lot. Actually, before I started this channel, I think it was literally American Gods, but I've been reading a lot more fantasy lately, so it's grown. And then I'm just playing around with how I arrange things. I have this stack of some of my favorite books that I just want to keep top of mind. Dropping down a level here, we have our Canlit section with another batch of books that you've seen on this channel. Just a quick shout out to My Volcano, another one of my favorite recent reads out of Canada. Oh, no. I mean, it is, but also like Johnny Appleseed is amazing. The Annual Migration of Clouds, Arborescent, A Dream of a Woman. We've had some real bangers come out of Canada recently. Then we have some issues of Prairie Fire and Grain magazine, some Canlit magazines. We have some DVDs, which I just added. Maps of the World calendar that my coworker gave me years ago. It's from 2019, but she was throwing it away, and I was like, no, it's too beautiful. Don't throw it away. It has like these really cool maps of countries all over the world. So I couldn't let her throw it away. Then we have our YA section. Again, a bunch of books you've seen me talk about on this channel already, a lot of great ones. And then I shouldn't show you this, but the bottom is kind of like also miscellaneous, but in a bad way. it's like just piles of stuff, like textbooks, some children's books from when I was a kid, a couple comic books, some photo albums, just like random stuff that needs to be sorted out. But there you have it. There is my infinite library, a snapshot of it today. It changes all the time. You can see I reorganized so it kind of flows nicer, like it's more by size now than anything, and by visual appeal. I've still got some holes that I need to fill with something, but it's getting there. I'm really happy with it. I'm enjoying it, and I'm enjoying sharing it with you. And over the past years, kind of, I think back on like where we've been. I've taken you through my infinite shelves here, which have grown since the first video, right? Like they're bigger, they keep growing. And I think like it's kind of a cheeky name, but when I really think about it, a bookshelf can hold any book and any book can hold any idea. So really any library is infinite, and it's not just mine, it's yours and everyone's. It's the world's infinite library. As long as we're sharing ideas, we're reading and writing and talking about books, our libraries are all infinite. But anyways, I've taken you through my own bookshelf, my own library. I've taken you on travels to different places that I've been recently over the past year. And I wanted to take this time to, like, as I thought on, like, how can I celebrate? What can I make a video about that's different? I was thinking, oh, well, why don't I take you through some of the things that I enjoy in my local bookish and just wider community here in Manitoba that I haven't shared with you that I think you might enjoy. So first, I'm going to do just that. I'm going to give you a quick sneak peek into the beauty of nature here in Manitoba this time of year. It's fall, so the trees are changing colors. It's really beautiful. Actually, by this point, probably all the trees are bare, but when I recorded some footage, they looked really nice. So you'll get to see fall at its peak. And then I'm going to take you to my very favorite book event in Winnipeg. So without further ado, let's get this party started. Woo! I'm on my way to the Children's Hospital Book Market, which is, in my opinion, the best book sale in Winnipeg, the best place to get used books. It's been closed over the course of the pandemic. It usually runs a few times per year and for a few days at a time, but we haven't had one since 2019, so I have been missing this, and I wanted to take you with me to see what we can find there today. I actually went yesterday, which was the first day. It's only 2 days this time, and got a bunch of books, which I'll show you later, but I am excited to go back. I can't stay away. So let's see what we find today. We made it. Let's go. Good morning. It is the next day after I talked to you last. I've got my coffee and I'm ready to show you some of the books I picked up at the book market yesterday. As you can see, I got a lot of books. This is the first stack. Like I said, I went 2 days, Friday and Saturday. So on Friday, just to show you some of the things I picked up, I got a pretty good mix. I feel like often when I hit up like a book sale, I'll end up with like only one type of book. Like in my previous video where I took you to the Green Valley Book Fair, I mostly picked up young adult books just because that was what was good at the time, what I was interested in, but like it was where I found more of the queer books that visit. So I think that's partly why, partly probably my own tastes in the books that I see. But anyway, this time I found more of a mix, I felt like, and I was looking for more sci-fi specifically because I've been trying to read more sci-fi, as you know. But anyways, I picked up a copy of The Magicians. I've read this before. I've read the series and enjoyed it. Found some things problematic about it. Didn't love it overall as much as I had hoped, I guess, but I did still enjoy it. And I think the first book I still enjoyed as well. So I just wanted to have a copy of it around as kind of a good example of portal fantasy when I want to hop into another world. And I love things that link the contemporary world of our modern day to speculative elements as well. So, and then I got a couple realistic books. I got a copy of A Home at the End of the World, the movie edition. I haven't actually seen the movie, but I love the book, so I picked up a copy of that. It's a book that I often go back to when I think about the kind of things that I enjoy writing, the kind of stories that I want to tell, and it's just an inspiration. And then another similar inspiration is Survivor by Chuck Palahniuk. This was one of the first books I read in my teen years after I had had like a long reading slump of just playing video games as a younger kid. And then as a teen, I discovered Chuck Palahniuk. My friend was like, hey, you got to check this out. And I read Survivor, Fight Club, and Choke, and was like, whoa, books can be this? So they really kind of opened my eyes to how a book could really be anything and tell any kind of story. Then I did pick up a couple sci-fi books. I picked up Armada. Like I said, I really like contemporary settings for sci-fi and fantasy. And I enjoyed Ready Player One, so I'm curious to check out Armada, the next book by Ernest Cline. And I think it's about like an arcade game that comes into reality, kind of like The Last Starfighter, if you're up on your 80s film references. If not, it's about like playing video games in it being more than a game, essentially. Then I also picked up a copy of Ancillary Justice by Anne Leckie, which I'm excited to read. That's a sci-fi book that's been on my radar for a while, and I've just never gotten around to it. I've often find the second or third book at book sales, but I've never found the first book. So I finally found the first book, so I can actually start. And then the other book I picked up was this beast, House of Leaves. If you're not familiar with it, it's a weird kind of like meta-fictional, like experimental book that takes you on a journey. I've dabbled in it before, but I've never like read it, and I honestly find it kind of unreadable. But again, it's kind of something that I just wanted to have on my shelf because it's a reminder to me that a book can be literally anything. Like it can be a weird experimental experience, and I like that. I like the variety. Okay, so that brings us on to the haul for day 2. Let's see what we picked up yesterday. Oh gosh. So in the similar vein, I picked up another sci-fi book, Pandora's Star. I don't know much about it or the author, Peter F. Hamilton, but I heard good things about the author. So when I found I think it's the first book in a series, I picked it up to kind of dive in and see what's what. I think I might read this one soon, or at least the first chapter or so to give it a shot. And then I did pick up Fight Club as well, another Chuck Palahniuk book, another movie book. Just wanted to have a copy as well. And the other really funny thing, I'll show you this next, because the other really funny thing is a few years ago, I was like downsizing my collection because I was kind of like moving and living in a smaller apartment. And now I want to have a bookshelf again and fill it with books that I enjoy and are meaningful to me. And so as part of this process, I donated a bunch of books to the book sale, and I'm pretty sure I just bought back some of them. So this one was the one that really made me go, I think that might have been on my bookshelf. So I picked this up at the Green Valley Book Fair, actually, when I was like a teenager. And it came with me to Canada, and then like made that cut of books. And then I was like really downsizing to try to get everything on a really small bookshelf. And I sold it or donated it to the book fair. And I feel like this might be the copy I donated. So now that I have space again, I'm happy to welcome it back. But it's just kind of a portal fantasy as well, of a girl who steps into another world. And it has just beautiful illustrations throughout. I really love that. And that's why I wanted a copy of it again, because the art in it is just so beautiful. I love the style of this kind of like It's like almost impressionistic where you see like brush strokes and everything and like all these wild colors that make up other things. It's a really beautiful book. It's actually I think a trilogy, and I used to have the second book as well, which I saw there as well, but I don't know that I need all of them. I think one is inspiration enough, and I'm trying to find that balance between restocking my bookshelf and going overboard to the point where I need to downsize again. So I don't want to get all the books. So then I think there were just two more, which this was funny. I picked up a copy of Tombstone Blues, which is a series, an urban fantasy series by a local writer who writes the series, the Thunder Road series, which is an urban fantasy set in Manitoba, tapping into Norse mythology, which is really cool. And it's really cool that this is such a local story. I've read the books before and enjoyed them. And again, just wanted to have a copy on my shelf. This is the second book, and I was like, I passed it up on day one because I was like, I'd really prefer the first book, but they didn't have it. So day two, I picked up the second book from the fantasy section. I was like, okay, cool. This is an adult fantasy. This is where it belongs. It's the only copy they have. Then I move on to the YA shelf on my way out, and I find the first book in the series, signed author copy. So I picked up the first book too. So I have book 1 and 2. And like, this is just kind of a weird, I guess, quirk of myself, is that you'll notice I am picking up first books in series without the rest of the series. And I often do this because I love different ideas and different worlds, but I get kind of, I don't want to say tired of them, but like the meaning for me in a series is the world it sets up, the characters it creates. And I feel like the first book often does that, and it's enough for me to like explore that world and then move on to something else, especially when like collecting books and having them on my shelf. I don't feel like I need a whole series if I have one book from the series to represent it. So that's why I have like random books and a lot of first books in series without the rest. Though some like Ancillary Justice, hopefully I'll pick up more if I enjoy the first one. But there you have it. That's my book haul from the St. Vital Children's Hospital Book Market, which is back, and I'm hoping I get to go there again soon. I'm hoping they're back on schedule. If not on their normal schedule, then at least more frequently, at least once a year, hopefully at least twice a year, maybe more. Anyway, there you have it. Thank you so much for joining me for this celebration and over the past year. I hope you've enjoyed this video and others. As always, I'd love to hear from you. What do you love about your community? What time of year do you find it most beautiful, or do you enjoy all the seasons? What are the best bookshops or book sales? What are the best libraries? Where do you love to find new books? Are there little free libraries? Do you have book exchanges? Let me know in the comments below. And if you'd like to see more videos, please feel free to like and subscribe, and drop a note in the comments below. Thank you all so much for making this such a fun year. See you next time. Delicious.